pleased to be joined now by Megan LeBlanc, co-founder of the Saskatchewan Senior Women's Hockey League. Just wrapped up the inaugural season. First of all, thanks for joining us from Estevan this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
So let's talk about the inaugural season as a whole, Megan. It's all in the books now, and it was a massive success in its first year. So how did you feel everything went?
Yeah, it was a great year. Like everything, it was a learning year, but at the end of it, we looked back and we're like, wow, it's exceeded everyone's expectations. And just, going from having one or two teams to having 11 teams, and there's like 400 people within the league now, so it's pretty incredible, and everyone's just happy to have the opportunity to play competitive hockey again.
That is a massive undertaking in year one, over 400 players. So I imagine that would have come along with some challenges to learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't really know what to expect at the beginning, so we kind of just jumped with both feet, and yeah, this is where we ended up.
Any learning lessons that you took away from this first year?
Yeah, it's just everything's been kind of a learning curve, and now we have kind of the people in place to help with certain situations and help with some of the workload with running a league of this caliber. So yeah, just kind of, growing as we grow, and having the right people in place has helped a lot.
Anything catch you off guard in year number one? Anything that you hadn't anticipated?
Honestly, nothing crazy. Like, I didn't really expect to have this much growth in year one. So if anything caught me off guard, it was just the influx of people who were reaching out and saying, hey, we want to play competitive hockey. We're moved back home now. We just got done playing university or college hockey or whatever it is, and we don't have any place to play. Is there a team that we can go on? So at times it was a little bit overwhelming with just, having, 400 inquiries to kind of work through them all and get people on the appropriate teams. But it's a good surprise to have.
We've got some friends down in the southwest corner, and blatantly they were surprised at the caliber of play. Were you?
Yes and no. Like, in a way, it's kind of, even like the junior leagues, it's a lot of girls that are just kind of out of high school. And if you think of it with the senior league, it's most of the league is girls who have just given 4 or 5 years of their life to university or college hockey. So not really, because if you think about it, everyone's had that experience of playing at the highest level of sport at the time. So now they're all in the same place in a senior league. So yeah, we expected it to be pretty high caliber and growing.
What was the reception that you received from the governing bodies like Hockey Sask, Hockey Canada, even all the way up to the PWHL? This is something that is unique and truly Saskatchewan, and you made it thrive this year.
Yeah, no, we're unsanctioned. We are a private league, so we haven't had anything to do with Hockey Sask. And yeah, we have, nothing really to do with anyone. We're 100% on our own.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
Little smile right there, too.
I like
right?
that answer. You bring up the PWHL, and I know they saw a post-Olympic bump in terms of attendance. Even the Ottawa Charge, they're talking with the Ottawa Senators right now about potentially sharing Canadian Tire Centre just to accommodate the crowd sizes. So as the season went on, did you also notice a bit of an attendance bump?
Yeah, I think lots of the teams were very strategic with where they placed their teams and where they would know they would have good community support. So I honestly think for the most part, it's grown in some towns with having fans come out to the games. But my team is fortunate enough, and a lot of teams in the southern part of the province anyways, are fortunate enough to have great community support right off the bat, and it has withstood the whole season. So we're pretty fortunate for that.
Obviously, you gauged 400 players' interest or expressions of interest. Have you seen that number grow, not only in the number of players that want to get involved, but maybe in the number of sponsors that also want to help out in this league that is looking like it's going to just continue to grow and grow?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for sponsors and trying to grow in that sense and become more of an established league and get the word out and, just run things more efficiently. So we're always looking for stuff like that. We are expanding into Alberta and Manitoba next season. So that's a whole other umbrella that's opened up now. And yeah, we put the forms out for interest, and we're at almost 300 in Alberta now and a little over 100 in Manitoba. And we've really haven't done much to, to advertise or we haven't put too much work into it yet, and we're already having those numbers. So I think it's going to be pretty incredible what we can accomplish next season.
When you had a vision to build this league, are you where you thought it would be right now already? Again, look at the number, like that's almost 1,000 players already that are interested in joining the league and getting back or continuing their playing career.
Yeah, I always believed in women's hockey and women playing competitively as they get older and when they're done university. I'm not really sure where it came from, where there's just so many men's teams that are doing it, and it's like, why can't the girls play? Why can't the women continue playing competitively? Like, we do all the work growing up, do through all the minor hockey as well, and go on and play junior university just like all the boys. So I don't know why it never was a thing until now, to be honest. So yeah, I always believed in it. I always thought it would grow. I didn't think it would grow this much in a matter of months, but I thought it would get here eventually, maybe just in a couple of years, not a couple months.
Tell me about the Steffes Cup, first ever presentation. How did it go down?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, the Gull Lake Falcons were the Steffes Cup champions for the inaugural year. Yeah, it was a good series. They won the South Division and Delmany won the North Division. So they just wrapped up a week or two ago here, and yeah, we're really, grateful for Steffes stepping up and helping us with being the main league sponsor. And yeah, Steffes Cup was awesome. I heard lots of good things, and yeah, everyone's just happy to be, playing for something bigger than them again. And yeah, just having that competition is really fun.
Colleague of mine is a town councillor in Dalmany, and consistently on his social media feeds, he was talking about how much community pride that there was in Dalmany. And again, for folks not aware of where Dalmany is, it's about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast and where you live in Saskatoon away. So obviously it's an opportunity to really spotlight and highlight. And did you see that in other communities around the league this year, not just Dalmany?
I think most teams have a lot of pride from where they are, and they're happy to be hosting a team. Yeah, it's really nice. It's honestly nice when you go into like a small hockey community and you see, like the senior team out on the ice helping out with like some of the minor sports teams, and just, being that, so like the little girls have something to look up to as well. And seeing it, it's awesome. You can see it now in like the PWHL on the TV, but you can also see it in your actual rink. And it's like when we're out practicing right before or after a team, or there's a bunch of little girls that play, and everyone's daughters as well. So, it's cool in the small town rinks to have, the little girls from Mydale or wherever it is, and they can look up and see where they could play when they're older.
It's a heck of a responsibility to grow the game. Did you feel that impact on, maybe, I don't want to say weight on your shoulders, but obviously it's a big impact that you can have in these communities and the province?
Yeah, like honestly, the league kind of started from a place of, I met Jenna, and me and her really got talking, and we both didn't have a place to play, and we were both in the same boat where we've given our whole life to a sport, and then you're kind of just done. And it's like you're kind of fed this illusion of like you're always going to have this forever, and you think you do, and then all of a sudden it's just done like that. So you go through it mentally a little bit and then that was where we were like, you know what, why is it like this? It doesn't have to be like this. We can make this into something great. So we kind of turned those feelings into, I guess, ambition to like start this and get this rolling. And I think for me as well, I work with a bunch of minor hockey players in my job and my business. So just seeing a bunch of, girls that I'm like, they're going to go through that one day too, where, all the minor hockey teams that I work with, like they're going to be in the same spot that I was in when they come home and they're, 20 or a little bit older after university. They're not going to have a place to play. They're going to go through it. And that's where I guess the big motivation came to take this on.
So Megan LeBlanc, if you were to sit back right now and take as much airtime as you want and put out your best pitch for athletes that are thinking about joining this league or inquiring more about it, or maybe even trying to figure out how they can get an expansion team or something like that, what would your pitch be? What would you tell them to expect moving forward?
Yeah, expect competitive hockey. It's competitive, and it's also just a social outing as well. And, especially in the Saskatchewan winter where it can be real long sometimes. I think we're all feeling that right now. It's nice to be a part of a team and have something to look forward to on the weekends to get you through, day-to-day work life. It's just nice to have something to always in the back of your head that you get to go and do on the weekend. So I think that's a really big perk of it. And yeah, if anyone has a team, or even if you don't have any teammates that or a team you're not sure where you'd end up, you're welcome to reach out to the league and yes, shoot us an email or message us on our social media, and we will definitely find you a place to play or at least put you in the right direction.
2 more questions then from me. First of all, the Steffes Cup, is it still in one piece? Because trophies in Saskatchewan have taken a beating this year.
Honestly, I haven't followed up on it yet ever since it got one. I'm sure it got taken apart a few times, but probably put back together. Our trophy's actually really cool. It's unique. There's actually 2 parts to it, so you can actually take a part of it all. There's like a topper on it you can take off. So the Steffes Cup is actually a pretty unique trophy. It's like quite the piece of hardware. So yeah, I haven't checked in on it yet.
Fair enough. And let's say that you were playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs and your captain got clipped by an ugly knee. Would you have gone in there, or would you just sat back and watched like the team seemed to do?
Oh, there's an answer for radio, and then the answer is what you probably.
Well put.
Well, you got your work cut out for you this offseason, Megan. So what's next for you folks?
Yeah, no, we're just going to be working on building the league and getting the word out there. Something that we're excited for next year is having the chance to now do division champions, and then also playing for the provincial title, and then also playing for the Western title. So now having Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and also potentially BC to jump in at the end of the year to be a part of Westerns. It'd be pretty cool to have, Team Sask, Team Manitoba, Team Alberta, Team BC all playing together, and it's going to be, it's going to be a great experience, and I think we're all really looking forward to it.
So you weren't busy enough this season, right?
Yeah, obviously not. So we'll bring in 3 or 4 more provinces.
Why not? Get in touch with the Saskatchewan Senior Women's Hockey League if you would like to be a part of this incredible league that has just been brought in. Megan LeBlanc, co-founder of the SSWHL. Really appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me, guys.